whenever necessary, do corrections and a conversation for transformation. And we feel that that is so very important because we have gotten in the habit of assuming that when people bring us information that's accurate, that it is accurate. And one of the things that we have stopped doing a lot of is investigating the information that we receive. And so hopefully over these last 2 years, I was looking at when I started September of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my second year. And
Oh,
I will do a celebration on year number 3, because if anybody kind of know me a little bit,
right.
I tend to do things in threes, and I do that because of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I think that whatever your beliefs are, I don't try to change anybody's beliefs. I just know what I believe,
Hello.
and I believe that there is a universal God, and that He does come in forms of a Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit, and
Right.
that when we tend to do things in three, we get multipliers. And I'm a strong believer in multipliers. I don't think that we should just do one thing and hope and just pray. Prayer is good, but there's somewhere in scripture that says you need to work. Okay.
Hello.
You need to work. And so hopefully over this last year, we have brought you information that you can take that and use it, but also investigate, also do your own research so that you can improve upon it. Because again, I do not have all the answers. I look to kind of more or less enlighten people about what is taking place. I'm, of course, in Virginia Beach. Love the city, just like any other city. It is not a perfect city, but we have people here in this city that can make changes, that can do things, that can bring about a positive change to correct some of the things that may not be where we would like for them to be. So today's topic is many are called, but few are chosen. And I use that topic because I said I wanted to try to focus somewhat on faith at the end of the year. Um, and it's to believe with all of our hearts in our people and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And you say, well, that's doesn't sound like faith. Well, you sure do have to have some faith to believe in one another. Because let me tell you, if you ever want to have a hard time, kind of deal with your family and friends in your community. And you
Hello.
better have some faith in them, because if you don't, they will pretty much cause you to lose your cotton picking mind. So I want you guys to go into the new year excited and victorious. And so you want to ask yourself, have I been called or have I been chosen? Or am I a combination of both? Or am I neither? Okay. And so I want you to think about your year and what you did throughout the year of 2023. What did you work on? What changes did you make in your neighborhood or on your block or on your street or on your lane or in your city as at large? Because we've had a lot of challenges throughout the year, but we've also had some victories. We've had some court rulings that didn't go in our favor, but we also had court rulings that did go in our favor. If you look at our recent election, we were able, for the first time in the history of the city of Virginia Beach, which has always been a tough city for Black people to run for office. And I'm not going to use the word people of color, okay? I'm going to just use Black people, okay? And I do so because when we win, others win as well. It has always been the case. Whenever we make moves, other people grab a hold of it, improve upon it if they must, and they win as well, even if they're not in the fight. The mere fact that we are the ones that are in the fight also open up doors for others. So if we're called, then we should be called for something. Okay. We should be called for something, and we should be called to do something. And so I look at it more or less as an assignment. I feel as if getting involved in civil rights, getting involved with this radio show has been an assignment. Okay. And so once I understood that my assignment was to go out and bring information to my community, I stayed with that assignment. I focused on my assignment. I didn't decide that I was going to do all these other things. I decided to stick to my assignment, because if I'm called to do something, then I have a responsibility to not just start it, but to finish what I'm called to do.
Hello.
And so for those of you who are listening, have you been called, or have you been chosen, or have you been neither, or are you both? And as I say that I feel like I've been called, I feel that way because I've been out here for 30 plus years, or over 3 decades, however you choose to say it. It has been a minute. I didn't wake up one morning and decide that, you know what, I'm going to sue the city of Virginia Beach.
Hello.
They have voting rights violations all over the place. I didn't decide that, on a snap of the finger or anything like that. It was years of being actively involved in the city. It was years of being actively involved in the community, years of actively being involved in my faith community, years of actively being involved in the education system, whether it was with my children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. It's been years. It wasn't a snap of the finger. It was ongoing. And so sometimes we have a tendency to think and believe that all of this is going to happen in a blink of an eye. No. Decades. Not one, not two, but over 3 decades of fighting and pushing and prying to move people and move our community forward, as well as our city. So ask yourself again, as you take a look at this year in retrospect, what were you called to do? What was your assignment this past 12 months? And did you get your assignment completed? Or did you just kind of look at it and say, well, I really don't want to do this, or well, it's too hard, or can't someone else do it? Did you pass it off, or did you see it through? Did you pass it off, or did you see it through? Because when you get an assignment, you can't just be dismissive of it. You can't just say, okay, well, I got the assignment, but I think it's too difficult. It's tough. It's hard. Assignments almost always are hard. Even when you're in school and your teacher give you an assignment, when you look at that assignment, some of them are easy. So say, for instance, you just love math. I had a sister that absolutely loved math. I mean, all of it. She loved algebra, geometry, calculus. When it came to math, for her, it was just like this. So when she got that math assignment, for her, it was a snap of the finger because she loved math that much. But for some of the other sisters and brothers, it was like, oh, God, do I have to do math? Oh, goodness, do I have to do this assignment? So when you're thinking about what you did over the last 12 months, ask yourself, what was my assignment? Ask yourself, did I focus on my assignment? Ask yourself, did I finish my assignment? Or would I get a letter that says incomplete? If my teacher was scoring me, would my teacher say it's incomplete? Because as we look at this year, I want us to do something a little bit more than we did the previous year. when I started thinking about going into 2024, it was like, okay, what are you going to do in 2024? You've been on this show now 2 full years. What are some of the things that you're thinking about in terms of what you want to do? And I'm not going to share them today, but I'm saying it because I want you to go and actually think about what are your plans for 2024. And I don't mean a plan to take a trip or a plan to buy a new outfit or a plan to, I'm going to a restaurant more often than I did in 2023. That's not what I want you to do. I want you to truly think about what it is that you feel that you've been called to do or chosen to do. And are you going to see your assignment through, or are you going to drop the ball?
Can't stop, won't stop.
Are you going to see your assignment through? Because again, we have been given assignments. I tell people all the time, I said, we only have so many grains of sand in the hourglass. And every time you flip that hourglass over, grains continue to drop down. And one day, guess what? For you, there will be no more sand dropping through the hourglass. Always look at life like a season, that we're here for a season of time. And after a while, guess what? You won't have a season. There will be no more seasons. Thank you for listening today. I see people popping up on the screen, and Benita and others. Thank you for being online with us today. And I hope this information is beneficial to you, because as we come to the close of this year, I really want us to pause for a moment. I have this little thing that I do when I get up in the morning, and I go through getting ready for my day. And I call it savers. And I got this from a young lady from going online and finding different things that people are doing and what works. And it's a little 5-step program. It's called Savers. S stands for silent. How many times do you get up in the morning or throughout your day, just sit still and be silent so that you can listen more than you're talking? How many times do you do that? So I call it savers. You first start off with silence. And I do that for like 2 minutes. Then I go to the A, which is affirmations. What are your affirmations? Do you affirm that you're going to get what you were assigned to do done? Do you make your affirmations or say your affirmations on a daily basis? As you're going into the new year, find your own process. This may not be yours. Then the next one is V. What is your vision for the organizations that you're a part of, for your faith-based organizations that you may go to, for your community itself, for your children, your family? What is your vision for them? And did you write it down? And have you been doing almost like a checkup? You would go to the doctor for a checkup. We need to be checking up on our vision. Hey, where are we in this vision? Are we on step 1 or are we on step 21? So as we go through this time, I want you to just keep focusing on 1, have you been chosen or are you just called? Okay, many are called, but few are chosen. But the call are also the chosen as well, when they are both called and they are chosen. Okay, so we go S-A-V. The next one is E. That's exercise. Do you exercise every day? And I don't mean your mouth when you're talking. I mean, do you burn? Do you actually burn off some of your calories? Do you do some work? And believe it or not, most of the doctors will tell you, do 15 minutes a day. At minimum, do 15 minutes a day. So almost anybody can do something for 15 minutes. You can walk in place. You can take a short run. You can lift weights. But again, it's S, A-V-E. We're on exercise. The next one is R, reading. Do you read every day? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, pick up something to read every day. And then the last letter is S, and that is for scripting or journaling. Get your book out. Write down what it is that you feel that you need to do to bring about a change in your community, in your society. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for checking in on us. What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure that when you leave 2023, that you are ready for 2024? Because a lot of times we have that champagne at midnight, wake up with a hangover, and then we're like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to get this bill paid. I really want to take this trip. I really want to go and do this or that or the third. But guess what? We have been called, but we haven't fulfilled the call and we haven't fulfilled the assignment. And so we've sat around for a whole entire 365 days. And I think next year is going to be the long one, 366 days next year. I think we got a leap year coming up.
Yeah, February.
But we're going to have to do something different than we have been doing, because if we don't, this process and the things that are taking place is not going to change. So again, today, if I was actually doing the third day of Kwanzaa, it would be Ujaima, or collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our community together and make our community's problems our problems and solve them together. Okay, so if we were doing Ujaima, which is collective work and responsibility, we would be coming together and identifying what are the issues in our community and collectively solve them together. We wouldn't expect one or two people to solve all the problems of our own community. And I'm talking to family right now, okay? I'm talking to us. I can't fix everybody. I can't even fix myself half of the time. So I'm surely not going to put on my little teeny tiny shoulders the whole entire world. But I will try to work with the people from my own community and say to them, we can do some things differently this year. We can work a little differently. We can come together differently. We can share our ideas and our thoughts, and then don't just share them. Get the work done. Finish the job. You know, we have a tendency to start something and almost never finish anything. You know anybody like that, Henderson?
Oh, yeah.
You know anybody like that?
Yeah. Pass the ball. Take it.
Always starting something and never wanting to finish it. Well, hopefully this year, we're going to start finishing some of the things that we start. We're going to finish things with our youth. Hello, Sean. We're going to finish things with our youth. If we're in the process right now of revamping the NAACP Youth Council, the AXO program, and other things that we care about. And we're trying to make, hello.
That's my daughter. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, hello to you.
Yes, that's your daughter, Sean?
Shonda. Okay. We just said Sean.
Okay, well, good.
Shonda, yeah.
Well, thank you for tapping in on us today. I know is this the one that's the principal?
No. She's the nurse.
Okay. So a lot of times she's at work when this show is on. So
Yeah.
She had a chance to listen to us today. Well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for listening. We appreciate it because I know it gets to be a little bit of a challenge. That's why I tell people all the time, you know what? You can turn it on, you can put it on mute, and then go back and watch it later. Okay. You don't necessarily have to watch it when it's live. And I remind people of that because it's so important that we still have people listening, you know, and so that people know that this show is out there and so that you can share with other people. So any of you who are looking at us right now and you clicked on, share with your family and friends. Let them know about it because hopefully, and I do not know why my voice is kind of scratchy today. I know why. I didn't drink water this morning.
Hey.
Remember, I told you I hadn't had my breakfast, which is highly unusual for me. The other thing that I didn't do is I didn't drink water, and I generally get up and drink at least 16 ounces, you know, every day, you know, when I first get up, so that I can make sure that my throat is clear and I'm able to speak well.
Yeah.
But with that being said, again, it savors silence, affirmation, visions, exercise, reading, and finally scripting or journaling. And so it's important that we do those things because that's going to affect our life. Okay. Somebody said they needed to exercise. She said,
You say it ain't easy.
read daily, but exercise not too much. Okay, do 10 minutes.
Yeah, that'll
Miss
work.
J, thank you for listening. Hello, Juanita. Happy holidays to you as well. And thank you for listening. I hope this is beneficial to you that you can share with others. Again, the things that I do, I don't do for myself alone. I do to hopefully be able to share with others and that it is a benefit to them as well. Because I think it's so important that we're not selfish. When we're selfish, we slow ourselves down. Okay. We think that it's okay to be selfish, but it really isn't because we're causing people to lose out on valuable information simply because we want to hold it to ourselves. And I want to encourage us as we go into 2024. Okay. We have an assignment. Okay. We have been called. Your calling is going to be different than my calling. So when you get that call, you need to make sure that you finish the assignment. You need to make sure that you get other people involved and you share the calling with them. And everybody is not going to agree that you are being called because everybody think that when scripture says many are called, few are chosen, they think everybody's supposed to be a preacher. So let me get that straight, okay? Faith says to believe with all of our hearts in our people, not just some of them,
Hello.
but all of them, and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. So being called is to be called to hopefully turn some of these things around that has been a struggle for us. Okay. Hopefully, being called means that if we see an issue or a problem, we'll address that issue or a problem, or we will pull our people together to help us address it. If I go to counsel and I say something before them and they ignore me, it's probably a good idea to go back down there with a host of people around me, surrounding me. And I'm not the only one that's speaking, but I also remind them by asking the audience that is there with me to stand so they know that I'm not alone. So if we're going to solve problems, keep in mind, sometimes even when we're called, we're not called to do this alone. Okay? We are not called to do these things alone. We are called to do the work. And that work may be a combination of people and not just one or two. So today, I just want to remind us that yes, we have had a year of challenges. We've had challenges in our city where some of the votes that have been taken throughout the city have not always been, to me, and I have to say to me, because some people may feel differently, they may not have been in our best interest. Let's take a look at some of the things in the city of Virginia Beach, such as all of these event places that they have here in our city that are not making any money, but in the next breath, they want to build another building. So why are you continuing to build these buildings and then at the same time say we don't have enough housing, and at the same time say that even when we build the buildings, if people come, we won't have enough rooms for hotels, and then we don't have enough room, and so you hear them repeat all the things that can be a negative. So those of us who are called and those of us who are chosen, we need to challenge those decisions that our city government makes. So if you don't live in our city, you probably have something similar going on. So I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Challenge those things that they are voting on, that your elected officials are voting on. And that is on every level. That is on your school board level. That's on your city council level. That's your state legislators. And those are your federal legislators. And I keep saying these things over and over. And he says, why do you repeat it? Because I saw Orange Dude repeat stupid stuff and everybody fell in line. So I think if I have the microphone and I have the opportunity to speak competently, let me repeat that over, and maybe some of the people will then do things in a competent manner. So yeah, I repeat what I say again and again, because sometimes folks are slow, and that's not slow because they are not that smart. They are slow because that's not part of what they do on a regular basis. They're quick in other areas, but they may be slow in the political realm. So we have to repeat it again and again and again. Okay. And that is not to offend anybody. That is not to disrespect anyone, because again, when I started this show, I wanted it to be different. I didn't want to beat down people. I didn't want to talk negatively about people. So that's why I'm doing a general message and not calling someone out individually or calling them names or whatever, because I want us to understand and that we all have a responsibility. Mine, again, may be different than yours. So you will hear me repeat things because I need people to take the initiative to move. I need them to get off the box, get off the stoop, and then get engaged and get involved, because we cannot win if we continue to sit on the block, if we continue to play marbles, if we continue to do the roller skate or the tic-tac-toe. If we continue to do those things, we're not going to win this race, because life is a race. It is a race, and they're going to be winners and they're going to be losers. And so it is so critically important that as we look at this year and we look at what we have done, what have we accomplished? What have we achieved? What things have we finished? What have we started? What have we left hanging and not, and not finished? Okay? Because we really need to go back and take a look at this year. And we need to, and kind of evaluate what we've done. I wanted to talk about the ending of 2023 and going into 2024, because a lot of times we think of a New Year's resolution, and I don't want us to think of a New Year's resolution. I really want us to think of an action plan. I really, truly want us to take a look at the things we've done, the things we've done well, the things that we have not done so well, and then say, what are the things that I need to do to have a different impact, to have a different result? So my show today is about being called, being chosen, and doing our assignment. Okay. Now, this is my time when I do announcements. All right. For those of you who live in Virginia Beach or in the Hampton Roads area, we have what we call a VBIMC, which is a Virginia Beach Interdenominational Ministers Conference. And every year they hold a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. event. This year it's going to be a luncheon, and it will be Saturday, January the 13th at 12 noon at Ebenezer Baptist Church in the city of Virginia Beach on Baker Road. So you'll be able to look it up. As a matter of fact, if you go to the Virginia Beach Ministers Conference, you should be able to pull their Facebook page up, and you should be able to see the flyer on the page. Also, the keynote speaker will be Mr. Aaron Rouse. Now, I don't give prices of events on this show, okay, because we don't do that. But if you click on, you will see the event that is taking place on January the 13th at 12 noon at Ebenezer Baptist Church. The guest speaker is our our state senator, Mr. Aaron Rouse, Senator Aaron Rouse. And so click on the Virginia Beach Ministers Conference Facebook page, and you will see all the information, including the costs for this particular event. The next event that is coming up is the Virginia NAACP State Conference Legislative Day. And that will be held on Tuesday, January the 16th. It will be in Richmond, Virginia at our state capitol. And we're encouraging those of you who are interested in lobbying or interested in seeing what it looks like when people go before their legislators and lobby them about issues. It's an opportunity for you to participate, to get involved, and attend the state, what we call our legislative day. So we're asking you to save the date. You can always come back and get back in touch with Henderson or myself so that we can give you further information with regards to the legislative day. And it's our opportunity to meet our elected officials on the state level, attend committee meetings, and go into the galleries for the floor proceedings so we can actually see our government in action, how they work, how it operates, and what they do. And you also have an opportunity many times when they're coming off the floor to talk to them one-on-one about an issue of concern to you. So don't miss these opportunities. Do not miss these opportunities. Okay. So that might be your assignment. Your assignment may be that you are supposed to talk to our legislators, and you're supposed to address concerns and issues that you may have, or that your neighborhood, your community may have, that you feel can be better addressed by the state level versus the city level. And you want to keep those two separated sometimes. The state level may be that you want to ask for funding. The city level would be you want to tell the city how you want those funds to be spent in your neighborhood. Okay? Because whenever I come on the air, I always try to, keep it simple. Because everyone does not have the same knowledge, the same information. And so I try to use the platform, again, to provide information, have a conversation for correction when necessary, and a conversation for transformation, because I think those are all key areas that we need to address on a regular basis. It shouldn't be a one and done. It should be something that we're doing on a regular basis. Now, the last event that I want to announce is the Virginia Beach NAACP annual Emancipation Proclamation Jubilee Day Commemoration Program. It is going to be held on Sunday, January the 28th, which is the fourth Sunday of the month at 2 p.m. And our keynote speakers, we have two awesome ministers out of Virginia Beach. We have Reverend Dr. Veronica Coleman of New Jerusalem Ministries and Reverend Vanessa Copeland of Mount Zion AME Church. So they are phenomenal speakers. I have heard both of them speak a number of times, and I'll tell you, they are both excellent. And their assignment is the theme for 2024 is keep your eyes on the prize. And those two ministers are going to break that up. And I'm looking forward to it because I don't know how they're going to present it, but I'm excited about it. Our host church this year will be New Light Full Gospel Baptist Church on Indian River Road in Virginia Beach, where the host pastor is Reverend Eugene Cowan. Again, we have our annual Emancipation Proclamation Jubilee Day commemoration on Sunday, January the 28th, 2024 at 2 p.m. Again, our keynote speakers will be the Reverend Dr. Veronica Coleman of New Jerusalem Ministries and Reverend Vanessa Copeland of Mount Zion AME Church. So for those of you who are listening, who are online, please share this show so that other people who may not have been able to listen live can listen later. Our host church, again, is New Light Full Gospel Baptist Church, and it is located at 5549 Indian River Road in Virginia Beach. And the host pastor is Reverend Eugene Cowan. So there's a whole lot of C's going on in this. We have Coleman, Copeland, and Cowan. Okay. And so we are looking for an exciting time. Again, the theme this year is keep your eyes on the prize. And I do have one more, and that is my dear friend Juanita. Juanita Williams does these talks. It's like wisdom from Juanita, and we love to hear her speak on various issues. On January the 23rd, she is going to be talking about end of year filing taxes and tax savings and things that matters to us because we are close to the end of the year. And guess what? Uncle Sam is going to be looking for your tax return. He is going to be looking for it. So she's going to try to help us, get us on track, make sure that we're doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. And I really like having people who are out here working in the community, doing things on behalf of young people, especially. Bernita, she's listening to us today. She's with the NAACP, and she is going to be coordinating our AXO program. We have Janae, who is going to be working with our youth council. And we have a lot of people out here. We have Tracy, who is going to work along with the youth council. She's not going to chair a program, but she's a workaholic, and she loves working with our youth. She knows her assignment. Her assignment is youth. So she does tutoring, and she's out in the community all the time working to make sure that our young people are reading at grade level, because that's important when they decide what career they want to go into, because you really don't want them to decide that they want to be a doctor and they can't read a chart, okay? You really don't want them to decide that they want to be a doctor, but they can't write a prescription. So having people like Bernita and Tracy and Juanita and Janae is critically important for the sustainability of our community. It is critically important when we're looking at who takes on their assignment, but who takes them seriously. See, that's the other thing. There's a whole lot of people, they will take an assignment and they have no serious bone in their body. And so they take the assignment and they drop it off and want someone else to fix what they didn't complete. So it's critically important that when we're selecting people to work with us and when we're selecting people to help us, that we make sure that we select the right people, that we make sure that we select people who are really, truly passionate about getting things done, that they are passionate about seeing something through, and that they're not the type of people that will drop the ball and leave you hanging. And now you got your assignment plus their assignment to get completed. And I think somebody listening to my to the conversation today know a little something about that, because I know that they have picked up the ball for folks many, many, many times. That they know who I'm talking to. But I'm really excited about this year. I'm excited about what I feel has been my assignment again for over 3 decades, and that is working with the community. That is being serious about working with the community, and that is being serious about following through to make sure that things are getting done, that we don't start something and stop, that we start something and we finish. There was a quote by, I'm trying to think of his name. He helped, and I know you'll be able to tell me, Henderson. He helped Michael Jackson with the Thriller album.
Oh, Quincy?
Quincy. Yes, Quincy.
Oh.
Yes, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones had a quote that he said his dad said to him, and I'm going to try to remember it. I write stuff down because I want to say it the way they said it. And so I was looking for it while I'm having this conversation with you. It goes something like this, because I'm not able to find it. And I just saw it this morning. And he said, when you have a job, no matter how big or small, he said, no matter how hard, you want to make sure that you finish, that you do the work to the best of your ability until the job is done. And so sometimes, and I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone real quick, but sometimes we have a tendency that if it's an easy thing to do, we'll go ahead and finish that. But if it's difficult, we don't want to finish the job. We just want to do part of the job and not get it done. And so when we are looking at doing work in our community, when we're looking at doing work on behalf of others, when we're looking at doing work on behalf of the community, we want to make sure that no matter the size of the job, no matter how big it is or whatever, we want to make sure that we work on it until it's done. And if we don't finish these jobs, they're going to be left for the person that come behind us. And then they may not have the same information that we had when we began the job. And so now, even when we complete it, it still may be half done, but not done in a manner that should be to the best of our ability. It may have been to the best of that individual ability because they didn't have all the information. Okay. They didn't have all the information that they needed in order to complete that job. And so I want us to think about what we're doing very differently than we have in the past. I want us to see the things that we're responsible for in a different light and not be so dismissive of these things. That we decide as a community, that we decide as family and friends, that we're going to get our job done, that we're going to finish it. Okay. We're going to finish it, even if it's a large job, we're going to finish it, even if it's a small job, because it's going to be critically important that we get this, that we get it done and that we do it well. Because if we don't, we send the wrong message to our children, and they will in turn do something very similar, which is not finished. They will just stop. They will not complete it. And so I want us to start completing some of these things that we start. And so, excuse me. And so as we're looking forward to 2024, because it is right around the corner, it's right outside of our door, let's take a look at not making a New Year's resolution, but completing the task from last year, or at that, well, next year, completing the task of 2023. Let's make sure that we get those tasks done and do them well. Okay. Because we can't keep half stepping when it comes to our community. Our community is too important. We have lost tremendously because we didn't complete a task. We have lost tremendously on behalf of our children, on behalf of our neighborhoods. You know, I look at neighborhoods all around the city, and Virginia Beach is one of these cities that brag continuously. They don't just brag constantly, they brag continuously about what a great city they are. And are we a good city? Absolutely. There are tremendous things that go on in our city that they do very well. But are there issues that have been lagging in us there and have been there for decades that have not been addressed? Yes, there are. And are there things that organizations can do in conjunction with other organizations or in conjunction with our faith-based community? Yes. So my challenge to you, because of course there have been challenges this year and there will be challenges going forward. My challenge to all of you who are listening today is find an assignment and see it through. Find an assignment. I don't care whether it's one block. I don't care whether it's one street. I don't care if it's one shopping center. If there are issues that are going on in our community, by all means, pull your team together and say, we're going to address this and we're going to stay on it until it is finished, because we're going to have to start finishing some stuff around here.
Yeah.
If we don't finish, there will be no victory, okay? There will be no victory without a finish, okay? It won't be. And so I know that we can do better than what we have been doing over the last 3, 4, 5 years. I know we can do better than what we've been doing over this last year, because there have been unnecessary situations going on within our own community that should not have happened this last year.
Yeah.
But doors have been open. Doors have been open, and we could have worked collectively a lot better to make sure that we completed some of these tasks. You got something for me, Henderson?
Well, I mean, you're always on point with with your conversation and your bringing the information to the community. The enemy is real, and when the enemy is out to attack, like with my campaigns and stuff that I work on, he wants you to give up, because as we get older, he's not after us. He's after the future generation. He's after young people, and if he can take that, get them off track, then he's winning. He's winning. So we have to get them in the in the form of getting them to register to vote, get them to know what candidates they need to think about voting for, regardless of what party they are. They have to read, they got to do their research. And that's important with what we do in the community.
You are absolutely right. As we come into the new year,
Yeah.
we got a lot of elections coming up. Happy New Year, everybody. Because you guys are going to be busy in 2024.
Hey.
You have a special election coming up in January for District Number 1. You're going to be busy next year. People that vote in District 1 will be voting again citywide for mayor, citywide for senator, citywide for Congress. I think we're up for Congress again. So keep in mind, we have elections all the time for president. Okay. We have all of these elections coming up in 2024, and you need to be ready. And you cannot be ready if you're not getting involved. You cannot be ready if you do not sit down and take a look at what these people stand for. Registering people to vote.
Yeah.
Going to the registrar's office and voting. I mean, and registering yourself to vote, or going online and finding out how you can go online and register to vote. But we have to say these things over and over again. And I know people say, you talk about that all the time, because it's necessary.
Life is all the time. What part they don't understand. It don't stop because you don't talk about it.
Exactly. It's necessary that we talk about it all the time, because what happens is people will fall by the wayside. They'll get frustrated. They'll be, they'll feel like nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Let me share with you, something is always happening. Our elected officials are always making decisions.
Hey, without you.
They have the front door decisions and they have the back door decisions. And if you're not engaged to push back against a lot of those backdoor decisions, then before you know it, the things that are important to you, all of that is going to disappear.
Yeah.
Because you're not at the table. You're not in front of the council members, the mayors. You don't attend any meetings. You don't challenge people on things. And so before you know it,
too late to cry.
It'll be too late. It'll be too late. And I don't want it to be too late for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grands and great-great-grands. You say, you don't have no great-great-grands. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
But guess what? Even if I never see them, they will sooner or later be here. So those generations, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations, if I go back to my great-great-grandparents, if I counted all the way back to them, there's probably 7 or 8 generations that are on the earth right now from their seed, from the great-great-grandparents, okay? So whether we see them or not, they will sooner or later be here, okay? And so with that being said, we are coming close to the end of the show.
Another one.
End of the show, end of 2023.
Yeah.
And I want you to get excited about next year, because we have nothing but opportunities. A lot of people don't think that there are opportunities out here for them. They feel like it's challenging, and it is. It's chaotic, and it is.
Yeah.
It is. I won't tell you that it's not. But the challenges create many opportunities. We just have to identify them. And then once we identify them, then we have to take the next step to work. If we can't do it alone, work with someone to help us implement what we need in order to change the outcome. So if we need another daycare center somewhere, and we know that, and we know that the government has money to put into a daycare center, and we know that there are places, and we know that there are people who have a background in that area, then instead of that one person trying to do the daycare center, then why don't we come together on one accord and work with them? It may not be something that we're going to do forever, but it may be the springboard that they need for us to be at the table to help them get started. So take a look around at where there are opportunities and see if you can give input, because we all have different talents, we all have different skill sets, and we all have different passions. So again, today's topic is many are called, but few are chosen. If you are called, then grab your assignment and see it through. If you are called, then focus on that assignment until it's completed. If you're called, then collaborate with others on that assignment so that the whole burden is not on you. If you are called, first you must know what your assignment is.
Yeah.
You got to know it. Once you know what your assignment is, you got to focus on it.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, it's my assignment, but I don't want to do it. You got to focus on it.
Yeah.
Okay. You also have to complete it. If you don't remember anything else that I've said today, please remember that we got to start completing stuff and stop letting it hang around.
Yep.
And with that being said, we're coming up to the end of the show. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. I'm sorry about the voice today. I don't know what's going on other than I didn't drink water, but I'm excited for next year.
Right.
I'm looking for some people to come on the show who want to talk about our youth, who want to talk about some of the things that the NAACP is doing to promote our youth, because there's a lot going on the national level. We just need to let it drizzle down to our local levels so that we can make sure that we are successful. So with that said, thanks, Henderson.
All right.
See you next year in the new year. Happy New Year.
All right, then. You've been listening and watching GA for Justice 2023. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And we'll join you again next Thursday in the new year. That's right around the corner. On behalf of GA for Justice, this community activist, Georgia Allen, y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. My voice was